What's going on, y'all? The chosen one is here to give you this breakdown of the cornerbacks. We getting close to draft time, almost there, right? And those of y'all who are maybe new to this stream, I do 10. I do 10 of each position. And then as I complete 10 of each position, I will go back and go a little bit deeper into each position that need to be going ahead and watched, right? So just because we're doing 10 now, doesn't mean it's gonna be 10 as a whole. So we'll probably, after I get done with these positions, we'll probably do some miscellaneous type stuff. And I have a live where I might talk about all kind of positions. If we can get there completed in time, I believe I should have enough time because I just got the safeties to get done, and probably touch on a little bit of these quarterbacks, man. Seeing what's going on, man. Seeing which one of these quarterbacks is overrated and underrated, because we know that Bryce Young ain't overrated, right? But we're gonna see about this Florida quarterback and that Ohio State quarterback and vice versa. But y'all ain't come here for that. Y'all came here for these cornerbacks. And these cornerbacks is who I shall give you. The cool thing about these cornerbacks is it's very interesting, right? Because really, all the cornerbacks that I've seen that kind of got the hype wasn't all that. If I'm being honest with you, wasn't really all that. I'm not saying that they ain't gonna be like there's some ones that got some good potential. They got some good potential, man, that could develop to be some good ones, right? Even going ahead at Trayvon Diggs, right? Did you ever think that Trayvon Diggs was going to be like this? Now, Trayvon Diggs was going to be good, but did you ever think that Trayvon Diggs was going to be Trayvon Diggs, right? And that's the cool thing about with this draft, man, in totality, right? It's like, okay, you see these top dogs, but it's looking like, man, the dudes that you're going to get in the middle rounds and toward the end might be the ones who got the best chance of really shining and being them dudes from what I see, right? Because I've seen, people that got a whole bunch of good traits, man, that can go ahead and turn out to be some real dogs, man. But anywho, man, let's get into this thing, man. Let's get into our first cornerback that I did was Joey Porter out of Penn State, 6'2", 193. Now, as y'all can see, man, from my short and from my last slide, let me tell you something. Joey Porter is y'all came here because y'all came here for the real. So I'm gonna be candid with you. Joey Porter is overrated. Like, what you think he's overrated? Come on, man. He got his daddy name anyway. So really y'all getting the attention because if Joey Porter was anybody else other than Joey Porter, I don't think he'll be talked about like he is now. But since Joey Porter is his dad, and his dad with no bum, that's why you're talking about him. They be like, what gives you such strong conviction that he's overrated? Well, Charlie Jones gave that boy work. Charlie Jones gave that boy work. Now, I'm not saying Charlie is a bum, because Charlie is far from a bum. Charlie is a good wide receiver. But let me tell you something, right? Even though Charlie got some short area quickness, he's consistent, got some good hands, man, and can run some good routes, you know what I'm saying? Especially Charlie, man, short intermediate. That's what I'm targeting him in. But let's be real, man. Charlie ain't got no long speed. Charlie is lacking in the speed. So somebody like Joey Porter, man, that should be Clamp City. But it was far from that. Charlie Jones probably won in the 90 percentile of his reps against, Joey Porter. And a lot of them were just subtle. Yeah, sometimes, a lot of the times, man, he didn't get targeted. But if you look at the one-on-one aspect of it, Charlie Jones gave that boy work. So I'm like, hold up, people got Joey Porter as number one? How could that be? Are they watching the film or what's going on? Do they know what to look at? Because I'm looking at somebody getting work. Charlie Jones, and if y'all don't believe me, go look at Charlie Jones. Go look at the Purdue because you probably ain't gonna be able to see it in the 1-on-1, but go look at the Purdue versus the Penn State game. You other here with the cat. What do you mean? I don't even know what you mean, man. Y'all, them Texas fans probably get ready to mess up their pick anyway. Had the most draft capital boy in the NFL. You ain't gonna do nothing with it. Y'all still gonna suck. But yeah, man. Here's my question though. Hey, why Charlie Jones didn't follow not Charlie Jones, but why did Joey Porter didn't follow Charlie Jones? That should have been, especially when it was crunch time, that should have been work from Joey Porter. Joey Porter should have been like, nah, it's just me and Charlie, man. Joey Porter should have eliminated him, especially when the game coming down to the way that it came down to. Joey Porter should have eliminated him. But I honestly think that Joey Porter didn't want that smoke, if I'm being honest. Man, Charlie probably should have beat him for a tug too. See, I know O'Connell coming out. O'Connell. Now I done watched O'Connell in plenty of games and looking at this and looking at these prospects. Man, I didn't really get too much. I mean, because Charlie Jones was your best target. Charlie O'Connell was like, maybe okay. You know, he ain't no bum, but he ain't all that to me. But maybe if you get him some more talent, who knows? Maybe he'll be able to do it. I don't know. Because we ain't gonna act like Purdue was just walking around with talent, right? But one thing that I've seen though that I do gotta give him props for is that he reroutes wide receivers. He does. He got a little physicality to his games, right? And one thing I like is that he fights through the whole catch, right? And when I've seen him in run support, he ain't the best. Yeah. He could be better in run support. Let's just say that. He can be better in run support. But there were times where, you know, after the catch, man, he can go ahead and make a decent tackle, though. But you would definitely want somebody named Joey Porter to be more physical in run support. But as a tackler as a whole, it's kind of weak, right? I was getting ready to compare it to Trayvon Diggs. But he does got good length and height for a cornerback, 6'2", 193. That's very good, height. One thing that I did see is that he struggles in changing directions and his transitions, right? And definitely need technique work. The speed is good enough, and he's a competitive type of corner, right? He's kind of grabby downfield though, right? You definitely gonna have to fix that, right? He's kind of grabby downfield. And if I'm playing with Joey Porter, I definitely want him to press. You know, I want him to, either he gonna be a jam cornerback or he gonna shadow. He got to shadow him, right? But I wouldn't have him do too much off coverage early on. And I wouldn't have him bail early on because I just don't think he's ready for that at this point in time, right? He is a starter, though, and I think he could be a good, solid corner, but he ain't him. He ain't him. He not him. When I see a corner, man, who they talking about in the first round, I want to see you against good comp. And when I seen him against good comp, he didn't fare too well. I seen him against what's his name? The Ohio Conley. I seen him against Conley. Did he go against Harrison? I think I did, if I'm not mistaken. Right? And to me, there wasn't too much good showings regarding with Joey Porter, man. But all in all, I just, probably at best, man, he'll be a number 2 corner, right? Which ain't a bad. He probably get a starter, but he ain't him. Now, the next corner that I observed was Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon, 6'1", 197, right? I seen Christian. I like Christian. I definitely like, and we'll get into it. But one thing that I did see is that he got hit with a back shoulder throw for a touchdown against Georgia. But he doesn't suffer from what Joey Porter suffers from, right? He a smooth mover. He got a good mirror on him, right? I like his closing speed, especially from off coverage, right? He fights. I see him trying to fight for contain and run support, but there'll be times, man, where he needs to be in better position in run support, right? But all in all, he's a good enough tackler. I rarely see him get tested, right? I didn't see people really test him, right? But he is scheme versatile. No matter what scheme you want to run, off, on, zone, man, he can do it all. I didn't see no limitations in that, right? He's fluid in his movement. Got good speed and explosion, right? I like his recovery speed and burst, right? But my one knock against him is I think he needs to be better in looking back for the football and spotting the football, right? And also, yeah, that's one thing. They talk about his awareness in the run game, but man, let's be real. A lot of these corners are soft if they're tackling, though. But one thing I would want to see, I don't want to see Byron Jones in him. I want to see somebody, man, especially, man, from his athletic ability to be able to go ahead and take away that football. So that's what I would want in Christian Gonzalez. But all in all, Christian Gonzalez got number one potential, right? He's a number one corner, right? I believe, yeah, number one corner. All right, the next one that I got is Devin Witherspoon. He's one of my favorites. I love a corner. Hold up. I love a corner who can tackle. I love a corner who can hit. And oh boy, that boy Witherspoon, that boy come up with a shellacking. I would want to put him, even though he not, I would want to put him at number one just because he's a complete corner, right? He may be 5'11", 181, but a 5'11" corner, that's a good height for a corner. That's not short for a corner. That's a good height. You don't always need your corners to be 6'1", 6'2". Can he leap? If he can leap, it's just like with Jason Verrett, right? He's 5'8", but Jason Verrett, when he healthy, he's sticky icky, right? And that's the same. And Devin is a baller. I've seen Devin come on. He's one of my favorites to watch. I've seen him come up on cat blitzes, quarterback blitzes, right? He's a very aggressive and a feisty corner. I love that. I love that nastiness, but I love an aggressive football player, man. A hitter. And when I mean a hitter, you would think, right? That boy come up there and just really out there just smacking, right? Whether it be at the catch and run support, that boy is a hitter. Love it. Love it. Nasty. You want to go ahead and improve your run game? Your run defense? I seen Devin playing inside and out, right? One thing that I probably will see, and it'll probably be happening in the NFL, is that his aggressive nature, teams will probably try to use that against him. Maybe try to go ahead and double move him or something, right? One thing I like about him, though, is that he turns his head and plays the football in the air. Love that about him, man. Right? I've seen good mirror ability, especially in off coverage. I love him. They said that he ain't got the burst. He might be missing the burst. Hey, he may not have top end speed, but that speed is good enough. They said Trayvon Diggs ain't had a burst. Like Trayvon Diggs is real sticky icky with his coverage too. I'm just saying, man. As long as you good enough with your speed, that's all that matters, man, for a corner, right? And he fights over trash, especially when he's fighting over in-break and rush, trying to fight over the trash, trying to fight over picks. He does well on that, right? And like I said, he can play off and on. He has ball hawk tendencies that I love. I love his instincts and his route recognition, right? And like I said, the only knock is, can he be on an island? Do you want him on an island? Sometimes you may not have safety help over the top, which is fine. That's why you got safeties to go ahead and clean up and help you out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Can you ball, though? And Mr. Witherspoon is a baller. He's a baller to me, man. Right? At minimum, he's going to be a very good corner. At minimum, definitely a starter. You know, you don't need to be no 4-3. You know what I mean? Shoot. You know, hey, I said I don't pay attention to 40s. I don't pay attention to 40s. Unless you training and you run like a 4-7 at corner, then I'm like, if you run like a 4-7 at corner, maybe I'll pay attention. Good. You're on a 4-7 at corner for. But I don't believe Devin Witherspoon is a 4-7 corner. Devin Witherspoon is a good corner, and there's a corner that all teams should have. Ball. I think I've seen him being compared to Levi Wallace off the Buffalo Bills. I don't know. But definitely a good cornerback, man, and definitely somebody, man, that'll definitely make a whole lot of teams better, more physical. He got that edge, man, that every team needs and every team wants, man. Don't nobody want no sucker for no football player, man, straight up. Don't nobody want no sucker. And we know that Devin Witherspoon ain't no sucker. All right, Cam Smith from South Carolina, 6'1", 180. One thing I seen about Cam was that he got bullied some downfield. Hold up. Okay. Hold up. Mute. No. But he got bullied some downfield. I wasn't a fan of that, especially when you 6'1", when you know, but what is it? When he was going against Clemson, I seen that he was kind of running the routes for the wide receivers against the Clemson, right? He did pretty good for that Clemson game, right? He actually baited I put that he baited the QB on the pick, man. Got good mirror ability. I seen that he was more of an off-ball corner, though, right? A zone coverage type of corner, man. Somebody that is going to be a good anticipator. I seen a lot of Asante Samuel, not junior, but senior in his game. So I wouldn't be surprised if we say that one of the corners that he looked up to him and tried to emulate was Asante Samuels, because I seen a lot of Asante Samuels in his game, right? Just if you pay attention, you'll get. If you know about Asante, you'll know. I seen a lot of, and that ain't a bad thing because Asante Samuel was a walking pick six, right? He attacks the ball, which I like. He did do good against Jalen Hyatt, but I'll be real. Jalen Hyatt a bum to me anyway. So I mean, he better. One thing that I do see is that he had a penalty problem, and it can't be grabby down the field at times as well, right? His lateral transition needs improvement, and the windows should be smaller. The windows to get that ball in, especially when he's chasing laterally, they should be smaller. They're a little bit too big for me, right? But that could be something that can be improved, right? Cam Smith, like I said, if you can get Asante out of him, you in business, man. But like I said, he gave me more off-ball cornerback type of vibes. Well, that's what he was. That's the majority of his thing, whether it be because of strength or not. That's just what he was, an off-ball zone type of cornerback. The next corner that we talking about is Deonte Banks, 6', 197, Maryland. The Maryland cornerbacks was very solid, both of them, and I did both of them too. But he was able to mirror. He played in a lot of coverages that I've seen in the few games that I watched. He played in a variety of coverages, and which is good, and he did good in all of them, right? One thing I like him the best, though, is I like him in tight man-to-man, right? Because he can run with wide receivers because speed is not an issue with him. Speed is definitely not an issue with him, right? And, you know, I had to put this in there because you know how I am. He did better on Charlie Jones than Porter, for sure, right? No matter what it is, man, off coverage, on pressure, man, it don't matter, man. He can play it all, man. He's a good cornerback, right? I do want to see him guard in breaking routes better, right? And I believe that especially when he get downfield, he need to trust his speed, right? Right? Because he kind of because he got plenty of it. I don't want to see that panic, right? I want to see him continue to work on his technique and continue going ahead and trusting that speed, man, and understand, hey, you can run with a lot of these wide receivers, man. Go ahead and play ball, man. And he a good corner, man. Who knows, man? Who knows? He might be somebody that you may talk about over some of these other cornerbacks. Hold on real quick. All right, let's do it. Keely Ringo. Hold up. Hold up. Let me make sure this thing on. All right. So Keely Ringo, 6'2", 207 from Georgia. Seeing that he came on blitzes, good size for a corner, very good size for a corner, right? Now looking at him against some of these top wide receivers that had came out before, I seen Jamison Williams was giving him some work. He struggled against him. He struggles just period laterally transition, right? To me, he needs to play press man, right? He needs to stay away from off right now, right? I didn't really like his mirror too much when it came to mirroring a wide receiver. He gives up inside position a lot. And one thing, and when I first seen it, they said that he was a boomer bust type of player. At first, I'm like, okay, I didn't see it. But then as I started seeing now, I see it. He's an inconsistent corner. Because when you watch him, when it's bad, it's bad. But when it's good, you're like, oh, he could be, okay, I see it. So really it's on him, right? But there was a play against Tillman where he pressed and turned, ran with him, and located the football for an INT. I wasn't very impressed with that. That's what showed me, okay, you got it. So why am I not seeing that more? Why are you inconsistent? What's going on, right? He is very hit or miss, right? Definitely needs technical work, and he is solid in run support, but he's very hit or miss. And, with these players as hit or miss, right, teams think that they can go ahead and develop them. Me personally, would I take on that responsibility or to do that? I wouldn't. Not with him. I just, I don't know. There's certain things that, not saying that he can be, because I definitely see it. It ain't like I didn't see it. I seen it, but I didn't see it enough. And that concerns me in college, that I don't see it enough. Especially, man, you playing against SEC wide receivers, man, and you know what I'm saying, you're in the best conference, man. So I need to see it a lot more. But Emmanuel Forbes from Mississippi State, 6'1", 166. Definitely needs to get bigger. But I like him though. He played a lot of bell technique, though. That's what I did see. He played a lot of bell technique. He is a willing tackler, though, right? But when he plays that zone coverage, he knows when to pass things off, and that's one thing I liked about him, right? He had a good Alabama game in coverage in 2022, but Devontae Smith definitely gave him work when they played the previous year. He was getting turned around a lot against Devontae Smith, right? And a lot of the times, man, when he was coming on corner blitz, it seemed kind of soft to me. I ain't gonna lie, like he got home sometimes, but it was just kind of soft to me. So I like to see that a little bit better. But he does got good eyes. He's always touching that rock, man. He a ball hawk, man, and he know what to do when he got the ball in his hands, which is very good, right? And one thing I like about him is that when he does look for the ball downfield, he doesn't panic, right? He don't panic. He has the ability to press, but in order to do that consistently in the NFL, you're going to have to get a little bit bigger. Gonna have to get a little bit bigger. You're gonna have to hit that weight room, man. And you Mississippi State, man, so you got all the food in the world to go ahead, man, and hit them weights, man, and get bigger. And that good old what you in Starkville or something like that. One thing I want to see though is him match that release a little bit better, right? He might be susceptible to the devil moves though, right? He's a good corner. One thing that kind of a comparison that kind of came to my mind when watching them was maybe Marcus Peters. Maybe a little bit of a Marcus Peters. Who knows? Maybe a Marcus Peters. Look, what's happening? Facts. Facts. I seen a little I got that Marcus Peters from him. Got that Marcus Peters from him, man. Who knows? Maybe. Right? On to the next one. The next one that I watched was Jacorian Bennett from Maryland, 5'11", 188. Now, I like Jacorian, right? Because one thing that I seen with Jacorian in Maryland, because I said both of them cornerbacks in Maryland was good. But he had a little bit more responsibility than the other one, right? Because he played inside and out and played a lot of inside, right? He got a track background. He fast, right? He could play off and on. He needs to be more consistent, though, especially with his technique, though. But I do like how he drives on the football, right? I believe in the NFL, I probably will play him as a nickel corner. I believe I'll put him in a slot, right? Good speed. I believe he ran a 4.3. And also, I got to put this out there. He actually did a good job on Charlie Jones over the Penn State wide receiver as well. Right? But he challenges the catch a lot, which is essential, which one I love in my corners, right? He's solid against the run. I seen him attacking, pulling tight ends and really giving them pads, man, and really assist and be a force like that in the run game, man. But I didn't see it a lot. But, hey, when I see it once or twice, man, I know you can do it. You just got to be able to do it. But he does need to improve on his technique. He needs to work on his play recognition. But all in all, I think he could be a good cornerback. He could be a good nickel slot cornerback, man, because seeing him in one-on-one situations. Man, what was the team that I was watching? It could have been Purdue, but no, was it Michigan? Might have been Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. But cause the name I can't think of the name. But man, he was in a slot. It was one-on-one, man, and he carried it beautifully, man. He didn't get burned. He was in perfect position. I'm like, man, and a lot of cornerbacks, man. When it gets to that slot, some of them be kind of uncomfortable. And he seemed very uncomfortable, man. He seemed very comfortable in space and being able to carry it because he took him over the top and he ran with him stride for stride, man. And the quarterback looked that way, but as soon as he seen Jacorian there, he's like, nah, I'm good. So I like that about him, right? I think he's a solid cornerback, but I definitely will play him inside, though. All right, let me see. On to the next one. My God. Eli Ricks. I like Eli Ricks, right? So Eli Ricks, LSU, former LSU, but transferred to Bama. I don't know the reason why, but hey, you come in as an LSU and a Bama corner, man, gotta have something on you, right? But he has 6'2", 188 corner. He's definitely a jam press man, physical press corner, right? But and I'm gonna tell you this. Now I done seen a lot of these SEC wide cornerbacks go against Devontae Smith, and who played him the best is this guy right here. When I tell you that he was jamming the mess out of Devontae Smith, and he clamped him too. He was jamming, but he was see it for yourself. He was jamming the mess out of Devontae Smith, giving him work. Devontae was not when he chose to get physical and allowed him to not get off the line, he wasn't getting off the line. So I'm like, oh, he got some physicality and he can run with a shot too, right? I guess the only knock against him is that he got limited starting experience. But so what? Can you ball or not? Right? He matches the release. He's a competitive physical corner. He challenges the catch all the way through. Right? They say they question his long speed, but I seen his speed was good enough, right? Because I seen Devontae had took him over the middle, and he ran with him, and Devontae, he caught the ball, but he tackled him. So that tells me that speed is good enough, right? You know what I mean? His lateral may not be elite. He may not have top end speed, but as I mentioned on a couple other corners, it's good enough. It's kind of like what Weatherspoon. His speed is good enough. And what's an eliminator of a speedy cornerback, a speedy wide receiver? Getting physical with him. And he's definitely, especially at the NFL level, I see some Al Harris in this jam, and I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I was loving the way he was jamming, man. But I ain't saying he is Al Harris with the jam, but I seen some Al in it though. But yeah, he clamped him though, right? But he also takes away the football as well, which is good too. He's good enough in zone. He'll get the job done, right? But his money maker is gonna be in man. Only in your face, in your grill, man. Right? Not letting them get off the line easy. That's gonna be his thing. Rerouting these people. That's gonna be his thing. Right? But hey, and also you can always have the safety over the top. If you're really concerned, if you're going against Tyreek Hill, I mean, not a lot of corners can really run with Tyreek Hill anyway. Guess what? That's why you got a safety back there to help clean it up. So what? But look, if you think that you're gonna put a big wide receiver on him, like a Cortland Sutton or something like that on him, that's clamp. If they ain't speedy, you better off trying to put a speedy on them, because a possession wide receiver, like, that's clamp. That's gonna be clamp, right? And yeah, it's clamp. But yeah, man, like, shoot, I ain't worried about him in speed because Devontae Smith was his test and he passed it. Come on, man, Devontae Smith is fast, and he's fast in the NFL, and he already got that work one-on-one, and he was out there clamping Devontae Smith. So if he can do that work, what makes you think he can't handle other wide receivers in the NFL with some speed? Come on. So whoever wrote that scouting report on him, man, I disagree wholeheartedly. But yeah, you always eliminate that speed, man, getting physical. You know what I mean? Because let's be real, some of these wide receivers, they soft anyway. So, man, when somebody really getting that grill, man, and really go ahead and get physical with them, what they gonna do? Fold like a lawn chair. And the last one that I watched was Julius Brent. Now, I kind of laughed a little bit with this one, but let's go ahead and get into it. Kansas State, 6'3", 198, good size cornerback, good long arms, right? And he could add some weight. He could add about 5 to 10 pounds to him, right? What I liked about Julius is that he's always laying hands on somebody, right? He's, especially in his mirror, he's always laying hands. He was physical, man. Because I think because you got that past 5 yards, I believe, or something like that. Yeah, that you could long the ball in the air, if I'm not mistaken, right? And he kept his hands on the wide receivers quite often, right? So that's what I liked about him. But let's get to this part. Quentin Johnston was giving that boy work. He was having a hard time on the sideline, even when he did it right, man, and pushed him to the sideline. Quentin Johnston, man, hey, he was getting past him too easy, man. It wasn't a good day for him, man, against TCU, man. That long speed is definitely missing. I know Quentin Johnston is fast, but that long speed is definitely missing. It's definitely missing on him, man. when I seen him go against the speed, though, he didn't turn for the football, and that's kind of concerning as well. That means he was always in a chase position, right, trying to catch up. That ain't good, man. I actually think that he might be a better safety. You might want to go ahead and McCourty him. You might want to convert him to a safety. I think that the cover skills that he possessed from cornerback, I think that'll translate well to safety. And I think if you go ahead and put a cool little 10 pounds, I think he could actually be a very good safety, right? So, a team can, if they got they might could try to Byron Jones him or something, man. But I honestly think that this man, his ultimate position should be safety, though. I'm just being honest with you, right? Because he struggled matching a release. He does, and another thing is when I watched him in zone coverage, he actually does better in zone coverage than he does man. So that kind of go ahead and further stamps my point a little bit. But yeah, man, the discipline should be there a little bit more. Hey, man. Hey, Quentin Johnston was taking that man over the top, man. He got a pick, though, over an underthrown ball in the red zone. But he competed. I give him that. I ain't gonna throw smut on him. I ain't gonna go ahead and speak wet on him, right? I ain't gonna speak wet on his name because he competed, though. But that speed was just too much for him. It was just too much for him, man. It was a little too much for him. Too much for him, man. But let me give you my 5, though. So my number 1 is Gonzalez from Oregon, Weatherspoon, then Joey Porter, Forbes, then Banks from Maryland. That's my 5. Now, let's talk about how this a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about how is this going to go ahead and what this going to do for the Cowboys, right? So, as mentioned before in another video, this team needs another cornerback, I believe, right? Because, I'm not saying that, like I said, I'm not saying Trayvon Diggs won't be here, but you just never know, right? Because you keep hearing rumblings that he want to team up with his brother. What if he wanted to team up with his brother in Buffalo? Right? What if the Cowboys, man, didn't want to pay him? I mean, do I believe he deserves a contract? Absolutely. When I see you clamp up Chase, when I see you clamp up Jefferson on more than one occasion, McLaurin, when I see you clamp up these top-notch wide receivers, man, you need that, right? And we're not gonna act like what's his name? Dan Quinn didn't have Richard Sherman and everybody else, and we ain't gonna act like he didn't have True Font in Atlanta and then everybody else, right? So one thing that you know for sure, wherever Dan Quinn go, he need that cornerback. And that's why I believe that Dan Quinn was going to be instrumental in making sure that contract gets done so we don't go ahead and have no misunderstandings. We don't have no holdouts, right? But but when you look at the equation after that, now you see, okay, so we got Bland, right? What you want to do with him inside out. You got Bland and you got Diggs. That's really it. Joseph is, I think he's probably gone, I think, right? Because I don't think that it's going to go ahead and allow a second round pick just to be playing special teams unless they give him another chance. I wouldn't be against him, and that's just me being stubborn, y'all. That's just me being stubborn because I see it in him that he can be productive skill-wise, but that focus, man, it wasn't there. And it has to be there early on, because if it ain't early on, then you probably going to have to make do and get rid of him. Jordan Lewis, he ain't going to be here long term, but you can count Jordan Lewis in at minimum this year, right? I believe so, unless something happens where a trade, whatever happens. But Jordan Lewis right now will probably is more of an asset than a liability in this point, and how we building his defense. Nashawn Wright, it's an unknown question mark on him. We don't know what's going on with that, right? Did you how you looking, Deshaun? Did you put some more weight on, right? Because we know you long, right? Are you a better safety, or is you gonna be a corner, or what's going on? Because some of the things that we talked about on how these cornerbacks were struggling with, you were seeing Deshaun Wright had some of them struggles as well, especially them coming in, him matching and him going ahead and allowing inside releases, man. He kind of struggled in phasing, right, off of the release. He struggled with that. Let's be honest with you, right? And somebody of his stature, and I know he's a little long and he's a little leggy corner, though, right? But Deshaun Wright needs to go ahead and use them long arms. So he's going to have to get physical. But ain't nobody going to take nobody being physical and you 150 pounds soaking wet. So either you done go ahead and over the offseason and put on some good weight so we can go ahead and get the most out of you, because you can't be playing off, man, bro. You 6'3", 6'4". You can't be playing off, man. The majority of the time, you need to be on, man, whether you be a shadow in your press or you really just jamming. You need to be one of the two. You need to be worried about matching. You need to be worried about your mirror. And if he can't do that, then you're useless unless you're gonna go to safety. But that's an unknown. So the only ones that you can say that you could just really, really count on from now into the future is Diggs and Bland. That's not good enough. You need more, right? You got Israel, but he's a tweener, right? What is he going to do? Is we going to put him as corner full time, or we going to put him as safety? Like, what we going to do, right? Is he just going to be a tweener? Like, we're just going to use the versatility because we already got our guys, right? We got Hooker, we got Wilson, you got Curse. So you got your safeties on the field. So if he's going to be on the field, the majority of the time, then it's going to have to be a quarterback. And do they see him being a consistent number 2 corner? I don't know. Now, we've seen him step up in the playoffs, and hey, that's one of the biggest stages that you can be on. He done went against some cool wide receivers, right? Against Tampa and the Niners. And they got, and you can say that the weapons is pretty solid. So it ain't like we ain't see you did, but doing it for 2 games is different from doing it for 17. So I believe getting a corner should be considered. Now, unless, now in the first round, would I consider it? Unless you get a Witherspoon or a Gonzalez, then probably not. Because to me, them the only 2 corners that I would even consider in the first round. Not Joey Porter. Joey Porter, I'm getting in the second. Kind of like a Trayvon Diggs situation, right? So with that being the case, how do you want to go about this cornerback situation? Do you want a quarterback who excels in one thing? Because I know that we want to play a little bit more man, right? Got to be able to, of course, you got to be able to, but you got to be able to play some man too. So I like my corners being able to do more than one thing. I like my corners being able to go ahead and drive and have good speed where they got good closing in speed and coming up with attention, man. And I think a cornerback that'll be good, right? Even if you don't get them, like, I think a quarterback that'll probably be good for this team would be the Maryland one. Banks. I think he'll fit right in. Honestly, with some coaching, I think he'll fit right in. Of course, Weatherspoon. Y'all know Weatherspoon, man. Y'all know Weatherspoon. Gonzalez will fit in. Let's look at it. Let's go back and look at it real quick. I'll tell you who will really fit in. Brent's wouldn't fit in unless you just, he could. But you got to, But Eli Ricks, I like him though, but Would he fit in? Now, hear my question. Who do you want to guard that speed, though? You want Diggs to guard that speed? If you're comfortable with Diggs guarding that speed, of course. Eli Ricks, I like him personally, but I'm just thinking about the scheme that we got, right? That's why I kind of paused for a second. But I like Eli Ricks as a player, though, right? Who will fit in? Jacorian Bennett, he will fit in because he can play inside and out. That's versatility. He can run with you. And when I think about stuff, I'm thinking about Cooper Kupp. I'm thinking about, I'm not downing him for this though, but I'm thinking about how Trayvon Diggs got toasted by Mr. Kupp. And he was toasted. When I'm talking about toast, I'm talking like Ed and Eddie buttered toast, right? But I think Jacorian Bennett would be somebody that you probably would want to go ahead and get on Cooper Kupp. Go ahead and use that speed, man. Because we know Cooper Kupp run them routes. We know he got good short area quickness, man. You need somebody that can get on him. I want somebody that's going, man, look, I want somebody that's going to get physical, man. That's why I like Eli Ricks. That's why I like Weather. So I want somebody that's going to get physical, man, who going to set the tone. We got some talented cornerbacks, though, but we could use more talent, don't y'all think? I think Jacorian Bennett, he'll fit well. Emmanuel Forbes, I think he could fit. I think he'll fit. I definitely would love to see him put some more weight on. But my thing is, we already got Deshaun Wright. We already got somebody, man, who's 150 pounds. So my only thing about Emmanuel Forbes is not the player, but the weight. And we in a win now position. That's my only thing. The weight. That's my thing. Keely Ringo, I'm staying away. Unless you get him like the fourth round or something, then okay, man, we can talk. But anything second, third, I'm good. Like I said, Banks, I think he'll be. I think Banks would be the cornerback that can really fit well and really go ahead, man, and really add some value. See, I'm not looking at as far as like top tier corner. I'm just thinking about, all right, we got our guy. We got our guy with Diggs. Now we need somebody that can go ahead, man, and it's damn near like you damn near need two number one corners, man. That's like the inevitable these days in time. But you got Gilmore, right? You got Gilmore, so you don't need him to come in right away. But you thinking about that future though, right? And I think Deontay Banks in the future can be a good. See, one thing that you need though is a nice pure cover corner on the other side of Diggs. And I thought that Kelvin Joseph could have been that guy. But it's looking like, we going in what, third year now? He ain't been that guy. Bryce Young, I like Bryce Young. Bryce Young can play. I'm gonna touch on them QBs. After these safeties. But I already started watching Bryce though. I like Bryce. Bryce a playmaker. Y'all be some fools if y'all don't get him. Me too. That's your quarterback. Forget the height. Can he ball? It's the same thing with Russell Wilson. Forget the height. Can he ball? Hey, man, Loke, man. See, man. Man over there talking about Loke. He over there talking about that hot water cornbread. I said, got popped by the feds. Now I'm seeing red. I peed in my bed. I must be. And that boy Joseph a fool, man. Hey, like I said, Weatherspoon, definitely that guy. Gonzalez, that guy. Porter. 50-50 on that. See, there's a lot of these corners that I would take off of talent, though. But I'm just looking at the fit and how we want to get down. Because if you look at it, we definitely got a whole we got corners that can do different things. We do. Got speed. And Jordan gonna be playing a slot consistently. Uh, you got Diggs, man, the ball hawk. You got a Bland man who done showed the versatility and can run. You got Deshaun Wright. You got Gilmore, man, and you know he might have lost a step. He might not be the Gilmore defensive player of the year, Gilmore, but nonetheless, Gilmore can still ball. So you got different corners, and that's why I think that Banks from Maryland, or even I actually think either one of the Maryland cornerbacks would probably be a nice complementary corner to what we got so far, right? I'm just looking at the scheme fit, you know. Now, is there talent amongst these corners? Yeah. Yeah, these corners are solid, right? Corners are solid. Like I said, there's only two first round corners, and Weatherspoon and Gonzalez. So of course, if they're there and premium DN ain't there or something, then of course you might thinking about the only one I'm taking over anybody is the premium DN. If he ain't a premium DN, now you go ahead looking at your boy. Okay, Bijan, did Bijan fall? Probably take Bijan, man. I get about a good 5 to 7 years out of Bijan, right? Maybe go ahead and after the third year, extend them for cheap, man. Maybe about a good 1 or 2 more years, and then go ahead and send them packing. Cold game, right? Cold game, right? But yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll send them packing on that level, right? So if I can get about 5 to 7 years out of my running back, I'm cool with that. And we know that he don't even play. He don't even play like he makes people miss. He ain't like Zeke where I'm just pound, pound, pound. He actually gonna make you miss, right? But yeah, man. And I didn't took a look at some other corners, man, but I didn't get to thoroughly watch. But there's some good corner man that can go ahead and be nice complementary tools to our one, right? To our one. So why not? Why not build this debt, right? You was able to go ahead and get lucky with Bland, right? A lot of you got corners. You got what? Second round pick in Diggs, second round pick in Joseph. What was Jordan Lewis? A third round pick. Bland was what? A fourth, fifth round pick. Deshaun was what? A fifth round pick. And then you brought in Gilmore. So you got all these cornerbacks, man, from the lower rounds. And I think we'd be better off, man, going ahead and getting a cornerback in the lower rounds. That's why I say Banks, right? Maybe a Bennett, right? Because we'll probably have more success. So you go ahead and go with the traits, right? Speed, 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 speed. Speed, speed, speed. Somebody that can go ahead and play multiple coverages, right? It's somebody that's going to compete throughout the catch, man. Somebody that can go ahead, man, and, hey, Diggs, I want you to stay on the side, though. But, hey, he a fast wide receiver, man. Do I got a corner, man, that can go ahead and handle this man speed for speed? Do I got a quarterback that can go ahead and match, right? Do I got a quarterback, man, that can go ahead, man, and handle the Stephon Diggs of the world, the Justin Jeffersons of the world if Diggs is occupied with somebody else, right? See, we already seen that Diggs is going to go ahead and transfer. But we're not going to act like these teams don't have 2 or 3 wide receivers, though, now. These teams are stacking up. So if these teams are going to stack up on wide receivers, then I believe it's a must that you go ahead and make sure that you stack up on cornerbacks. That's what I honestly think. You stack up on these cornerbacks. You stack up on these cover guys. Somebody that can miss and match, right? Israel, cool. I'm cool with that. But I need another one. If I got a luxury, if I got depth on the D line and I got depth on the back end, I'm fine. I'm in business. You know, it's 17 games, y'all. It's a grueling season. We was lucky enough to have good health last year, but bad health or good health, we still was one game and we were gone. Well, I guess we thought that it was better because now we won a playoff game, I guess, but we know that as Cowboys consumers that we know that one game ain't gonna suffice. We was talking NFC Championship. We was talking Super Bowl. We ain't talking no be satisfied with losing to the same team twice back-to-back years with a Tampa win. We ain't satisfied with that. We don't want that. I'm looking, matter of fact, I'm looking at the Chiefs though, right? How they built it off of mid-round picks in their secondary. But that can run, no. That's why I say Banks. That can run with these wide receivers. That can run with an A.J. Brown. That can run with a Schmidt. That's why I say Banks. Somebody that's going to run, or Bennett. Somebody that got that 4.3 speed that can go ahead and cover. So you can fix technique. Can you play? Can you play? Can you do more than one thing? And if you can play ball, man, we can go ahead and fix your technique. That's cool. You can have that. That's why I got Al Harris. That's why we brought in Al Harris for, to go ahead and clean that up and fix that up. Al Harris is instrumental in the improvement of Trayvon Diggs. Now, we already seen that dog in him before. But the improvement of year to year to year, a lot of that was Al Harris. We got the support around these players. Now let's get a player. See, what we need to focus on, because a lot of these players suffer from what you call a lack of technique. Needs to be built up. But as you can see from Tyler Schmidt, it's amazing what a few months, how you can improve with some coaching. So if I got a player, if I'm going on physical characteristics, that's what this team need to focus on. Physical characteristics of whatever position that you desire. And if we go ahead and focus on physical characteristics in a man that's able to be coachable and that's actually give you something to see, like, okay, he can do it, because here's why. You know what I mean? When I look at Joey Porter, I see the physical characteristics, but I didn't see the here's why. I was disappointed in that tape of Joey Porter. I was disappointed. I was expecting to see more. But I'm not disappointed in Banks, Corey, and Bennett, and Weatherspoon, and Gonzalez. I'm not disappointed. Yeah, I may see some things, they might need to clean it up, but I'm not disappointed in their tape. And I see Oregon go against Georgia. That's what I want to see. I want to see you ball. I want to see you go against Caleb Williams. I want to see you go against Charlie Jones. I want to see you go against Devontae Smith. And they can talk all they want to about Eli Ricks. But Eli Ricks, out of all these corners that I named that went against Devontae Smith, did the best out of all of them. Because he took it old school and got physical with him. I see a whole bunch. Now, I do see corners that can go ahead and mix it up, though. But one thing that I didn't see, man, was somebody that go ahead and use common sense. It's kind of like we got a whole bunch of talented cornerbacks that can play, but they don't use their common sense. Common sense would say, jam the mess out of that little man. Devontae Smith was like 140 pounds. Go ahead and get physical with him. You know? Pick 6 Ricks. Get physical with him. Why are you trying to run and match speed for speed? Eliminate that speed. And Eli Ricks was the only one that I seen that had common sense with that. I done seen 4 or 5 people go against Devontae Smith out of who I just discussed, and he did the best out of all of them. So that tells me that you have football smarts. I don't need you to run a 4-2, a 4-3. Like I said, physicality in that pressure, man, jamming them up, That's an all in all to be able to go ahead and eliminate speed. How many people in the NFL do you see really, really just getting real nasty and real physical and really jamming a wide receiver that needs to be jammed on a consistent basis? I barely see it. And when I see that in college, LSU already brought you in, and we know that LSU gonna bring in some dogs at corner. Now, I don't know why you transferred to Bama. I mean, unless it was some other stuff, because quite frankly, I'm watching the game, that Mississippi State game, and it's like 6 or 7 games played, and it's your first time playing. So I'm like, what's going on with this? And then as soon as he get in, what did he do? He balled. He didn't need opportunity. He just need an opportunity. What did they say about Diggs? Oh, he's slow. And now he out here running stride for stride with wide receivers that got speed. Interesting. See, that 40 ain't the all in all. That 40 ain't the truth. So you can sit over there, man, and run a 4.3, but be slow as heck with your game speed, with your game film. But I can sit over there and get say for instance, Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones may run in the 40. Well, he probably may be slow in his 40, right? But his game speed, his game quickness is fast. So it's all about the tape. That's why I never put too much stock into the combine. Bro, what the hell do I care about a quarterback being able to broad jump? What the hell do I care about a quarterback being able to vertically jump? Unless he try to go ahead and go grab the snap, a high snap, which should be slim to none, then what do I care about him jumping high for? How many times is you going to see a football player be standing right here and all of a sudden just jump? They going to be running. Do football things. Now, change the direction for a D lineman? Yes. Because you do that. Change the direction for a running back? Yes. Because you do that. Actually look at things, and plus, I'll tell you another example real quick. With Ajalari, if you looked at him and his 4-corner drill, you'll be like, what the heck is this? But I look at that game film, and I see a man who can bend the edge. He may not be a premium rusher, but I see a man who can capture the edge. So I don't care how you looked in that 4-cone drill. I care about how you looked at the tape. I'm seeing him, Ron Gorman, Broderick Jones, using one arm and driving him back. So that tells me that the tape is the only thing I care about. I don't care about your 40. I don't care about your 10-yard split. I don't care about your 40-yard dash. I don't care about your gauntlet drill and you catching 10 footballs on a 50-yard. I don't care about that. Can you play football? And there's a whole lot of people who is going to go ahead and probably test whack at the combine, but going to be ballers. And that's why they be like, and I don't get this. They be like, they'll have a good comment. Oh, let me go back and check the tape. No, it's going to be the same thing that you see. So you trying to convince yourself to like the player. If I didn't like you the first time I watched you, I'm not going to like you the second time. See, now you playing mind games. Now your mind playing tricks with you. Because Dontari Poe ran the 4.8, 4.7, 40. Now you're going to have to look at the tape. No, he told you what he was. He told you what he was. He showed you what he was. The production told you what it was. Just like with Lewis. Not Lewis, but Jordan Davis. I'm going to always get on him. The man had a handful of sacks in 4 years. How was that first-round material? Reach. What, because he could move? No. And then now they always talking about, oh, man, Jordan Davis need to step up. Well, if you didn't pay attention to the combine, and you would have paid attention to the tape and the production, it would have saved you. So you need to fire your scouting department. Facts, Bird. Show me the game tape. Show me that real money. That game tape, that real money. Charlie Jones be busting these, they be busting these corners' ass, man. Charlie Jones be busting on them. The tape don't lie. Hey, when I look at Charlie, okay, now I'm like, okay, it's 3rd and 10. Okay, Charlie, step up. Charlie, go ahead and get 11 yards. Okay, Charlie, we need a touchdown. All of a sudden, I see Charlie wide open, catching the ball. That's production. Forget your 40. You always didn't open. They said that Hunter Renfrow was too small. He don't look like he's too small on the field producing, does he? So that's why I don't get caught up with this stuff. You know what I mean? They gonna talk about Bryce Young's height. So what? Can you ball? I said it's about Kyler Murray. I said Kyler Murray is a talented running back, but he don't love ball. So it's pointless to take somebody like that. And what do you know? They dealing with stuff because he don't love ball. They infatuated with the talent, but he don't got the mindset. Quarterback takes a different mentality. You have to set the tone. That's one thing about Dak. If Dak had Kyler Murray's athleticism, we'd be talking about a whole different quarterback right now. Dak may got the mindset though, but right now his body ain't there with the mind. Can you ball? Stephon Diggs was what, a 5th round pick? Why was Stephon a 5th round pick? A lot of the stuff be circumstances. You got to understand. Let's go back to Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones, man, hey, Purdue suck. Come on, let's be real. Purdue suck. All they got is Charlie Jones. And O'Connell was even being talked about as a quarterback because of Charlie Jones. The tape don't lie. I look at Joey Porter getting toasted by Charlie Jones. But then when I look at Ja'Cory Bennett and Banks, they own Charlie Jones' line. Interesting. Both of them was on, and Ja'Cory Bennett got a pick guarding Charlie Jones over the middle. So that tells me I like to see how did you do against NFL type, somebody that's coming in the draft. How did you do against ballers? And if you showed up, you balled and you competed, then that tells me something. But Joey Porter, let's be real, if you're getting beat by Charlie Jones and Conley toasting you, Harrison, Harrison was a watch. It wasn't really nothing to watch, but it was more only Charlie Jones and Conley. So if you're struggling with them wide receivers, what makes you think that you can handle CeeDee Lamb? What makes you think you can handle Stephon Diggs? What makes you think you can handle Justin Jefferson and Chase? Because you're going to be on them. They're going to be on you. What makes you think you may go ahead and guard T. Higgins? But what makes you think you're going to handle these guys, though? What makes you think you can handle Cooper Kupp? Because it looks like you struggle with route runners, too. And there's some route runners coming out. So if you're struggling with them, that doesn't give me hope. That discourages me. When I watched Trayvon Diggs a couple years ago, I said Trayvon Diggs is a good corner. Now I've seen Trayvon Diggs getting toasted. What was it against? I think it was against Chase. But it wasn't but because he failed though. He failed. Yeah, the tug was, but he failed though. So how did you get beat? Bro, and his matching, it's kind of slow. I'm talking about Porter. It's kind of slow. Porter needs to go ahead and look at some Eli Rick film. Hey, Porter, you need to throw hands on him. I need to see Porter throw more hands. There wasn't a game that I didn't see off of the limited film that I was able to watch Eli Ricks, but it was enough to give you an evaluation, an analysis. I didn't see a game where he didn't throw no hands on somebody. That's what I like. Play to your strength. Everybody got a weakness. Aaron Donald even got a weakness. Run at you. Go ahead, allow you to get upfield, and we're going to go ahead, man, and run them draws. We're going to run you them traps. Use your aggressives against you. Every player has a weakness. Unless you're probably Tyron Smith or Zach Martin. Every player got some type of weakness. It's not every day that you go ahead and get a flawless type of play. It's not every day. It's not every day. Every player got some type of weakness. But do you do your strengths well? And there's a lot of players that if you get them right and you use their strengths well, they can add to this team. They can add to this team. Now, when I go look at these safeties, okay, Kurtz get ready to be up soon. Hooker get ready to be up soon. We got Wilson. So maybe I need a free safety. So now I'm looking at free safeties now. I got my hitter for the next 2-3 years with Wilson. Now I need a hitter. Who gonna smack stuff? You know? Just like when I looked at the O-line. The reason why I say that the Ohio State is the best because what he get beat at, what his weakness at, that can be fixed this year, you know? But I can't fix if you slow-footed. I can't fix that. I can fix technique, but even that got limitations because let's look at it, right? We call Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper good route runners, right? But would they be an elite route runner if they didn't have that foot quickness on them? Probably not. They didn't have that speed on them. Would they be elite like that? No, because they have physical traits to match with the technique that was taught and that was learned and that they put their flavor onto it. That's why they good the way that they are, because they match technique with physicality, with the physical traits. So Charlie Jones, right? Let's look at Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones, he gonna have a technique, but he gonna always be limited because of his physical traits, because of his lack of foot quickness. Because he can't go deep. What if I get on the corner? Let's give me an example corner. Let's say, for instance, Ramsey or something, right? If I get on the corner, that's gonna really be sticky, icky. Charlie Jones might have a hard time. But if I go get you on that third, if I get Charlie Jones on that third, as long as I got Charlie Jones, but if I went on ahead and give you them Cedric Wilson plays, if I made you my third or fourth wide receiver, that means I got you on lower quality. So that means that I can go ahead and use you. Now I got to go ahead and scheme you up because Charlie Jones got to be schemed up some. But I'm looking at Charlie Jones 35, boom. Right? They say Jackson Smith is the best wide receiver. I tell y'all all the time, I don't see how. I struggle with that. I don't see how he's better than Addison. I don't see how he's better than Flowers. I don't see how he's better than Johnston. I don't. Charlie Jones is a good route runner, so why he ain't? And they both ain't got no speed. That's why Jackson didn't run around the 40. They both ain't got no speed like that. So who better? I ain't trying to start no mess, but I'm just trying to just be real as possible. I ain't trying to start no mess though. Butte from LSU with the small catch radius that he got. I'm still taking him over Jackson. Zay Flowers. Even though he 5'7", 5'8", I'm taking him over Jackson. I even like Downs. I think I had Jackson 6 or 7. That's like saying, and they talk about Hyatt, right? Bro, I see nothing on Hyatt that would say he that guy. Because when I looked at Hyatt against that Alabama, a lot of that was blown coverages or schemed open. A lot of that was schemed or blown coverages. So I'm like, yeah, he fast. But when I'm looking at him run other things, other routes, his run after the catch is non-existent. I'm like, what are we doing here? So we're just going to use him as a deep threat? Bro, I got that in Cooks. I don't need that. Yeah, you're 4-3. You know how many 4-3 wide receivers, man, that sucked? What's up with Tavon? Lucky Whitehead. If Turpin can't get on the field, I don't even think Jalen Hurley a better wide receiver than Turpin. I'm going to be real. Now, if you want to talk about overrated, I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Hurley fall tight the 4th or 5th round. People saying he's 2nd round? Okay. If a team draft him in the 2nd round, we know who's going to get fired pretty soon. That's all I'm saying. We know who's going to get fired pretty soon. Y'all remember Devin Smith? Devin Smith had better production than him. And what's up with Devin Smith? That's all I'm saying. Sometimes, man, the hype be on these players that they don't even really be that nice. Just like with Kalijah Cansey. I'm telling you, I don't see it. I didn't see it. I don't. I don't see it with him. I don't know. I don't see it. Could I be wrong? Yeah, I could be wrong. I could. I was just talking to my brother the other day. He's like, "Oh, I like Kalijah. He weak to me. He weak to me. I don't see it. I don't. I really don't see it. What? Because he's quick? Man, I literally watched like 4 games of him. And I was sitting over there trying to figure out, okay, I need some more. Like, what do I do? Like, what am I put him at? Like, 3rd down, okay. But he's struggling to get off these blocks. He ain't no Aaron Donald. That's for sure. So I don't know why they keep comparing him to Aaron Donald. He ain't that. So what's going on? It's all hype. A lot of these players is gonna be all hype, y'all. All hype. You're gonna see in the draft like, dang, I wonder why he's dropping. Because the tape. Because they watch the tape. The hype is coming from these analysts, right? It's coming from Mel Kiper, McShay, Bucky Brooks. That's where it's coming from. That's why you see the little rumors. They throw out little rumors to go ahead and get your mind wondering. I believe that they say that Zay Flowers, I got that alert talking about Zay Flowers is up number 1 on people's boards. I believe they got that because Steve Smith said it. So they taking Steve Smith word from it. Is he a good wide? I mean, he could. But how could you have Zay and him up there and you don't got that USC wide receiver up there? How? He's a route runner? How not? He showed you rack. And he showed you definitely a lot better quickness than Jackson did. So how is he not up there? I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. He'd be all hype with these players, man. It'd be all hype, overrated, underrated, right? People think, oh, he had one good season. What about your second, third, right? Peyton Hillis had one good season. What happened to him? That fool was on the mat. With that fool on the Madden cover, he had one season. After that, where was he at? So one season ain't gonna tell me nothing. Can you keep doing it? Do you got it? They say Michael Parsons. Oh, that was one good, bro. We knew that he was him. Timothy Stevens. We knew that he was him. Carey, him Thomas. We knew that he was that guy. So we was never worried about if he was gonna replicate it. We were just worried about how many sacks he was gonna get. You know? Because come on, man, they can say what we want. They can act like the fans is dumb or something. We know when a player can play ball, and we know when he trash. Some of these fans need to be in these scouting rooms and these scouting departments. Because I've been trying to figure out what they be looking at. Now I understand sometimes, because sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'm ready to get this over with, get this player over. And sometimes I'll be like that too. Sometimes I got to go back, you know what I mean? Going through it, but then, well, let me go ahead, drink some water, chill back, step away real quick, and get back to focus. Okay, yeah, I seen that. Yeah, he ain't that guy. oh, hold on, let me go back. Let me watch one more game because I wasn't convinced. Oh, okay, he did it again. Okay. You know, you got to go ahead and really be thorough. But I'll be honest with you, y'all. Even though I recommend to at least watch 3 games at minimum of a player, you can find out in one game or 2 games that the player can ball. All it takes is 1 or 2. And if you still try to find out after the second game, can he do something? And he probably can't do nothing. I watched after the 3rd game, I was trying to figure out what Kalijah Kancey could do. I was trying to figure out why was he like that. Y'all remember he was top 5 early on, and now he ain't in the top 5. I wonder why. Because they probably watched that tape. See, that's why, I'm like, we'll watch the tape. We'll figure it out. They be like, oh, no, I don't go off the hype. Let me go see for myself. Let me see for myself. Let me go ahead and give my thoughts to myself and get my opinion on him. Okay, he go. So who he? He under that type of coaching? That might not be that good. That might not be it. Maybe Kalijah Kancey need to play some DN because I don't think he got it at D tackle. I think he need to be with some more space. So maybe he might need to play some DN. He got the quickness for it, but he don't got the production. He just ain't that guy. I'm not trying to hate on him because I wish all these young men success. But I just got to keep it real, y'all. They just ain't that guy. They just not him. That's all I'm saying, man. But yeah, man. So what's next on the agenda is we got these safeties. I've been kind of seeing a lot of them being talked about. So we're going to see what the hype on some of these safeties is. I'm kind of looking forward to it, right? I'm definitely going to be paying a lot of attention to them free safeties. Or if we can find out for one of the free safety, right? We got our hitter, so we ain't worried about the hitter. Now we worried about can you cut. So safeties is next on the menu, y'all. But, hey, the reason why especially is key that we doing all these bodies now is because, hey, you just never know. Anybody can get drafted with the Cowboys because every position, if you look at it in one way or another, that needs to be had in one way, whether it be depth or the future or whatever the case may be, we probably need something of everything. So there's no position that should be left, even quarterback, y'all. There should be no position that's left untouched. So I'm enjoying this process. I hope you guys enjoy my analysis on these players, man. Because I'm enjoying doing it, man. You know what I mean? It's kind of been a while where I just sat back and just let's go ahead and watch these players, man. And it's gonna be fun to see around draft time how this all gonna play out. There's gonna be a lot of disappointments. There's gonna be a lot of anger, and I can't wait to see it all. I can't wait to see Philadelphia mess up. I can't wait to see the Commanders mess up. They've been trying to look for a quarterback, man, since Moses parted the Red Sea. The Giants been sitting up there trying to find them guys since Michael Strahan left. You know? So shoot. And Philly been actually trying to go ahead and find good draft picks, man, since what? Brian Dawkins? Oh man. Oh man, we're gonna have a good season roasting these teams, man. I can just see it now, y'all. They gonna get this work, man. But anywho, man, I appreciate y'all for coming through once again. Appreciate that support once again. And if I go ahead, man, and hit that like if you haven't, I appreciate that. And we up out of here, y'all. Y'all have a good one.